All right, good morning, traders. Today is May 24th, 2024. Thank you for being here. My SPY pivot this morning, 528.90. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. All of the Fab 5 are in daily uptrends. They're all still in daily uptrends. QQQ and SPY made new all-time highs yesterday, while FNGU made a new 2-year high. SPY ends the day with a 2-hour downtrend, a 10-minute uptrend, and closed the daily candle between the daily trap and the 17 EMA. Both QQQ and FNGU closed inside the bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Both Diamond Dow and IWM made lower highs and lower lows, closing below the bearish cross and below the 17 EMA. Gold and silver still in uptrends, both made lower highs and lower lows. Gold closed below the bearish cross and the rising 17 EMA, while silver closed between the bullish trap and the rising 17 EMA. USO still in an uptrend, not this morning though, but last night it was. Still in an uptrend and made an outside day, closing under the bearish trap below the 17 EMA. UNG still in an uptrend, made higher high and a higher low, closing over the bullish trap and over the 17 EMA. US dollar index still in an uptrend, recently bounced off the flat 200 SMA sometime last week. Closed the day near 105 area, so kind of just melting up there on the US dollar. All right, let's go take a look at some charts. All right, so first chart, let's take a look at SPY. All right, so here's our Andrews pitchfork. All right, yesterday's candle, increasing volatility. Got a brand new all-time high up here, and we closed below the bullish trap, but above the 17 EMA. So there's SPY. On the 2-hour chart, we got a 2-hour downtrend here. All right, but on the 10-minute chart, we left the day with a bullish cross on the 10 minutes. We have a 10-minute uptrend when we close the day on SPY. So pivot today for 28.90. That's just above this area here, right down to this spike, between this spike and this move down. So anything up over 528.90, I'll be looking for green erases red over 528.90 for an entry, and red erases green underneath 528.90. We have a bearish 2-hour downtrend. I'm more likely to play the short side with a full position on the long side with a half position, simply because we're in that 2-hour downtrend. All right, so here is the all-time high anchored VWAP. Comes down here, so we've got a range somewhere between 528.13 and 528.90, where we've got this is the CPI breakout, the low off the CPI breakout right there. There's that anchored VWAP, and the other anchored VWAP is right here off of yesterday's all-time high. All right, so I'm looking for a probable test of this all-time high anchored VWAP from yesterday. All right, and if we climb up on top of that, I got to say that's going to look pretty bullish if we get on top of the all-time high anchored VWAP. I should probably move this pivot down to actually to this area right about here. You know what? I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it right there, because we still could roll over right there. You know, 1 or 2 candles up over this all-time high anchored VWAP is not enough. I need to see like a breakout. I don't want to be buying the rubber band candle. Okay, so SPY. All right, let's take a look at, enough with SPY. Let's take a look at QQQ. QQQ, all right. Another increasing volatility, higher high, lower low, closing inside the bullish trap over the rising 17 EMA. QQQ putting in a new all-time high yesterday. All right, FNGU put in a new 2-year high. Again, increasing volatility, higher high, lower low. Closed inside the bullish trap over the 17 EMA. All right, so FNGU, new 2-year high for FNGU. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow took it on the chin yesterday with a lower high and a lower low, closing below the bearish cross and below a rising 17 EMA on Diamond Dow. I think that probably may recover today. I do. I think that is the end of that move, and I think they'll start working their way back up. We'll see what happens. It's just my opinion. All right, so here's IWM, also looking a lot like Diamond Dow. All right, with a lower high and a lower low, closing below the bearish cross and below a rising 17 EMA. I would think price would make it right back to the 17 EMA on both Diamond Dow and IWM. You can see in the pre-market, we're almost there, right there on IWM and Diamond Dow. All right, let's take a look at energy sector. You know what? Let's look at the technicals. All right, T2122. For yesterday's price action in T2122, we got thrown out of the seller's chop zone straight into the sell zone. All right, and we just kind of made, just chopped around inside that sell zone. So there's T2122. Nothing bullish happened yesterday. T2123 started out red, ended red. Red the whole day, pulling back to a rising 200 SMA. T2123 3 bar. We've got 3 more green 17 EMA balls there, but you can see price has now pulled back to the 17, but still a whole lot of space between our rising 200 SMA and the price action right there. Okay, so this is still in a bull flag. They're just setting the bottom side of that bull flag right now. Still very bullish, T2123. FNGU rallied for the first part of the day and just actually the very beginning of the day, and then just gave it up. That's it. They just melted down and they just let it free fall. And we came all the way down to prior low of that bull flag right there. All right, pretty much right down into that. So there's FNGU. Let's go look at the energy markets. We'll start off with USO. All right, USO is in an uptrend because we made this higher high over this high there. But in the pre-market, we're breaking below this low. All right, so we got a new low. So this is in a downtrend. All right, now when I wrote this, this was in a daily uptrend when we left off yesterday. Today, we're in a downtrend, all right, with price action. Well, let's just look at yesterday. Yesterday, increasing volatility, higher high, lower low, closing below the bearish trap, below the 17 EMA. And you can see here's the downtrend, breaking the low, making a lower low with right here. So that puts USO in a downtrend early this morning. As of yesterday, it was still holding the uptrend. All right, so let's take a look at UNG. UNG yesterday, all right, higher high, higher high, higher low, closing over the bullish trap, over the 17 EMA. All right, UNG in an uptrend. USO was in an uptrend, now it's in a downtrend. All right, all of the Fab 5 still in uptrends. All right, let's take a look at silver and gold. All right, here's silver, yesterday's price action. Not quite back to minor support. This would be minor support. Anywhere from that peak to these 3 peaks right here. All right, so silver having a pullback. Here's lower high, lower low, closing below the bullish trap, but above the 17 EMA. Still a little bit of ways to go to get to that minor support. And they may have got it in the pre-market or the post-market. So we'll see where they are, but there's a possibility that was already attained and they're spiking up and going back in the other direction. So let's take a look at GLD. All right, GLD, lower high, lower low, same as silver, but still in an uptrend. Silver also still in an uptrend. All right, lower high, lower low, closing below the bearish cross and below the 17 EMA. Not a good look for gold. Silver, not too bad. All right, let's take a look at SMH. SMH, new all-time high for SMH yesterday, closing over the bullish trap and the 17. XLK, new all-time high for XLK. That's our technology sector, closing inside the bullish trap over the 17 EMA. XLI, these are our industrials, looking a lot like IWM and Diamond Dow. Okay, so Diamond XLI got higher high, lower low, closing below the bearish cross and the 17 EMA. So still in an uptrend. All right, still in an uptrend. Not till we break this low right here, or we create a lower low. Well, yeah, a higher low and then break that. So there's XLI. So there's let's take a look at XLF. These are our financials, still in an uptrend, lower high, lower low, closing below the bearish cross and the 17 EMA. A little harsh pullback yesterday. IYT. All right, IYT yesterday. Is this today or yesterday? That is yesterday. IYT, lower high, lower low, closing below the bearish trap, below the 17 EMA. IYT has resumed its downtrend, making a lower low yesterday. All right, kind of setting up the head and shoulders here on IYT. Big head, left shoulder, right shoulder. Not looking too good for IYT. All right, let's take a look at our economic calendar and our dollar index. On the economic calendar for today, durable goods at 8:30, consumer sentiment at 10, a rig count at 1, and a Fed speaker at 9:35, but it's not Mr. Powell. Okay, SIFMA says early close at 2. I think the markets are open till 4 today, so we'll see what happens with that. The markets will be closed on Monday, then observance of Memorial Day. Again, I want to thank all of those that served and are serving. We appreciate your service. Earnings calendar, nothing happening today. The main event was Wednesday with NVIDIA in the evening. Okay, nothing happening here. All right, maybe some familiar names, but nothing that's going to move the markets. Monday, nothing that's going to move the markets. Tuesday, Bank of Nova Scotia, again, nothing that's going to move the markets. Got some familiar names, but nothing moving the market. And then on Wednesday, the 29th, Salesforce, 270 billion. All right, they're going to report after the close on Wednesday. All right, and let's take a look at Max Payne for today. Max Payne for today, probably 5:30. No, Max Payne, 527. Put to call ratio is 1 1/3 puts for every call. So Max Payne is 527. I think we're already up at 527, so that's gonna. All that leaves left is a put squeeze. So we'll see what happens to that today. And here's the U.S. dollar index. Okay, so U.S. dollar index in a daily downtrend with a lower high and a lower low. All right. Yesterday kind of melted up. All right. Up to the 105.05 area. Okay. Today's candle kind of pulling back. Down here, right about this spot right here, this was the 200 SMA. All right, now we have bounced off that 200 SMA. Now the question is, are they going to H pattern roll over and come back down and test it again? Or are we coming all the way back up here to test those highs? Now right now we got into these two peaks right here. A little bit of resistance from this peak here and this peak here. So we got into that, and you can see here is the dollar kind of falling in the pre-market or overnight right there.
Order filled.
All right, I'll take questions in the room. Hey, good morning, Julie. I'll take questions in the room, and if there's no questions, I'll go ahead and render my video.